begin the readout tonight with a party that stands for nothing. At one point, Republicans believed in helping the rich, tax cuts and deregulation. They believed in endless wars. And let's not forget the classic family values. But now, in a Trump-dominated world, it's really not clear what they stand for or what they're actually offering the American people in exchange for the one thing that clearly they want: power for themselves. Now, it reminds me of this scene of street vendors during the French Revolution from the classic Mel Brooks comedy History of the World, Part 1.
Freshly picked from the garbage of the rich. Apple cores, apple cores.
Rats, nice dead rats for sale. Perfect for rat stew, rat soup, rat pie, and the ever-popular ratatouille.
Nothing. I got absolutely nothing for sale.
Okay, kudos to my producer, Val, for that. That is hilarious. And that's comedy. It's hilarious. But the reality is actually really serious. Because while Republican politicians are not willing to vote for money to fix your roads and bridges, or to make the rich or corporations pay their fair share of taxes, or provide you with help for childcare, or make it easier to vote, or reform the police, the stuff that politics actually can do, they are using the power that they have now to try to make it so that you can't vote to replace them with politicians you prefer. That if you're not of the party, you basically won't count anymore. Even if you do vote, so what? We don't have to recognize that. We'll just throw that out. Because the power belongs to us and will always belong to us. And don't take my word for it. Just listen to the number 2 Republican in the Senate, John Thune, on why a bipartisan commission to investigate the worst and deadliest physical assault on our Capitol since the War of 1812, why that is just not possible.
I think a lot of our members, and I think this is true of a lot of House Republicans, want to be moving forward, not looking backward. And, anything that gets us rehashing the 2020 election, I think, is a day lost on being able to draw a contrast between us and the Democrats' very radical left-wing agenda.
Okay, you heard that? I mean, real talk. The thirst for power is so intoxicating that it has infected the Republican Party from the top down. Today, we learned that a judge denied a request from a group of conspiracy theorists to take possession of roughly 145,000 absentee ballots from heavily Democratic Fulton County. Extremists want to transport the ballots, get this, to a private company for an Arizona-style review. The judge said no, but will allow a digital review of the ballots while in the custody of Fulton election officials. None of this is going to change the results of the election. Biden will still have won Georgia way back in 2020. But if this isn't freaking you out, it should. Because Republicans are showing you that they are increasingly willing to treat your vote like a cute suggestion. That they can just hand over your votes to their friends to review because they didn't like the results. If you can't win fair and square, just retroactively change the results. Or at least sow doubt in those results so lots of people won't view the winner as legitimate. Let's go back to Arizona, where they've engaged in a months-long fishing expedition to try to taint President Biden's legitimate victory. Secretary of State Katie Hobbs has now informed the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors that she might not be able to allow the county to reuse hundreds of vote counting machines because she can't trust that they weren't tampered with during this bananas, bamboo paper, and cyber ninjas fake audit, with the ballots supposedly fed to chickens before the chickens were incinerated. This tomfoolery would be funny if it wasn't so serious. In the case of Arizona, it could cost Arizona taxpayers $6 million. So it's more funny, shocking, and frightening than actually funny. When a political system veers away from democracy, there are usually no good places for it to go. The great Merriam-Webster dictionary defines fascism as a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nation and often race above the individual, and that stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of opposition. Forcible suppression of opposition. Maybe by voter suppression, or by making elections just poof, disappear. Maybe by violence, physically attacking the seat of government. All to exalt a supreme leader.